Hello and welcome to BikeSocial. This is EICMA, it's the annual Milan motorcycle show.
We're going to speak to all the major manufacturers to bring you the lowdown on the top bikes for 2019.
Well, welcome to the MV Agusta stand. With me here is Adrian Morton, Design Director for the company. Thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
Now then, you've got two headline bikes, right? You've got one prototype, it's a Superveloce. Can you tell us a little about it?
It's been a few years that I've been considering to have a sort of neo-classic bike in our range, and this prototype was developed in the last few months, and it's based on the F3 platform.
Yeah.
And obviously it basically takes our heritage and then reworks it to something really special, I think. You know.
So it's a 3-cylinder 675?
It's 800, yeah.
800, of course. Fabulous. And what are the chances of this? This is a prototype at the moment, or a concept machine?
It's a concept. It's been delivered as a concept, but there's an incredible, considering the level of interest this year, it will be a reality, I think, in the very near future.
We're talking to you less than 24 hours really since it's unveiled, and there's already a huge amount of interest in this machine.
It's been really, really positive. I think we've just, I don't know, I think it kind of covers a broad spectrum of clients potentially, because you've got the people who really love all the sort of classic elements of it, and obviously it's something fresh as well. It's something new and something a bit different, really. So
sure, and just talk us through the highlights of the machine in terms of what we're seeing in front of us, exhaust system and electronics.
Starting from the front, I mean, obviously the styling is almost classical in terms of some of the surfaces. So. In contrast to our product, the Brutale, it's very simple lines, but it's just this mix of very soft surfaces with more kind of edgy, kind of more futuristic, or kind of. So it's a really kind of balance, not only in terms of the styling elements, but also in terms of the actual bodywork styling. So I think it's a nice blend of hard and soft, like it is old and new. So, but obviously some of the characteristics, a very simple, clean headlight. The characteristic is hark to our 500 Grand Prix bike from the past, and kind of mixing with a single-sided swing arm is something a little bit different. So you've got a single exhaust on the single-sided part of the bike, and then you've got two on the right-hand side. So very clean. It was a very quick project. It was just like one sketch, and we went into the modelling, and very little compromises, very little interventions from anybody. And I think the result kind of shows that. It's very fresh, and it really captures what the intention was.
I really, really hope this comes to production.
It will do.
Let's go and have a look at let's go and have a look at the other highlight from the EICMA show. Let's have the full name.
Okay, so this is the Brutale 1000, the Serie, the Gold Series version, which will be coming 300 units, limited to 300 units, and retail price around about €42,000.
Fabulous. And tell me about the highlights of it.
The highlight of it is the fact that, obviously, in contrast to our Superveloce, this has got a totally different feel to it, a very aggressive styling that relates to, obviously, the incredible performance figures, over 200 horsepower, over 300 kilometers an hour. And what can I say? I worked on the original Brutale back in '95, and this is obviously something a bit different, but it captures some of the elements that were on the original bike.
Tell us about the differences between this and the standard model.
Okay, so it's really down to the details. Like, if you notice, the carbon has got a red weave, which is very particular to this vehicle, and this will be a feature of the Gold Series bike, the Serie. We've got carbon wheels, obviously, that help from a dynamics point of view. We're talking around about 186 kilos, so power to weight ratio is pretty impressive. And a specific exhaust system made in titanium by SG, and developed specifically for the vehicle. So obviously in reduction of weight again for the dynamics of the vehicle. As you can see, it's got a very specific paint finish as well that really is reworking the traditional red and gold and silver colours that we use on all the Gold Series bikes. So another very nice feature, which will be obviously on both bikes, is the canard wings at the front that give it some degree of aerodynamic intervention at very high speeds. So obviously, when you're talking around about 300 kilometers an hour, to keep the front end planted, we've actually developed specific aerodynamic features, which is obviously a first on a naked bike.
How have you managed to harness that kind of power or get that power out of this engine?
Well, I mean, obviously it's kind of an intervention between electronics and mechanical, and so obviously at the lower speeds when you're in acceleration, that's traction control, and then obviously at the higher speeds, it's physical downforce, which will assist the feeling when you're actually riding at that kind of speeds. Obviously on controlled racetracks around the world.
I cannot wait to try this. I hope I get to try it.
I hope the styling reflects the character of the soul of the bike, because this is pretty incredible, and hopefully the styling reflects that.
Plenty of carbon, some beautiful colours on show here, and you said it was 42,000 euros for this one?
42,000, yeah.
And limited to 300.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Well, good luck with that. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
Cheers.